G'day, folks. My guest today is a hilarious comedian, one of the funniest people I know, who's about to embark on an Australian and New Zealand tour, starting in Perth on January 29, moving through all the Aussie cities, and then heading to the land of the long white cloud, New Zealand, after that. Today, we're going to get him to try out some pies and Vegemite. He's getting jumped in Australian style. Josh Wolf, welcome to Are You My Veggie Mate?
Thank you for having me. I have to ask you a question. When
Yep.
you say pies, everybody knows what you're referring to. Not like apple pie, cherry pie. Everybody knows we're talking about this
We
pie.
when you're getting a pie in Australia, everybody the default setting is a meat pie. Now, the one you're getting today, the one you're getting the test run today, is a very special pie because this pie has beef that's braised in Vegemite inside it. It's called the Mighty Pull. And it's actually designed by, well, let's just give him a quick shout out anyway. Let's give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this show because he's the guy who baked this pie. If you're an Aussie expat living in America, what's the one thing you miss? Pies, meat pies. Aussie Pies and Sausages, based here in Los Angeles, California, bake their pies fresh daily and ship to all 50 states. They've got steak pies, curry pies, lamb pies. They even have vegan pies. That's right, I said it, vegan pies. They also have a pie called the Mighty Pull, which is braised beef in good old Vegemite. They've even got sausage rolls, and they do party pies and cater for private events. Desserts? Did you say desserts? Yes, they've got Aussie pavlovas, caramel slices, and they've got lamingtons. We had a vanilla slice, but yeah, I ate that while we were getting set up to film. Yeah, it was yummy. Sorry. So, folks, go to AussiePiesAndSausages.com and get some pies and sausage rolls delivered to your house and support an Aussie-owned business in the US. Cheers. So, folks, if you want to get yourself a mighty pull, check out AussiePiesAndSausages.com. Okay, Josh. So this is basically the Australian taco. That's what we eat in Australia.
So fork and knife or just hands?
Oh, no, hands. It's designed for hands, man. This thing, you should be able to pick it up. Now, how long's it been out of the oven?
Probably 10 minutes. It still feels
Oh,
warm.
cool. It's warm, but it's not like going to burn your mouth out. Okay.
Just
So
jump right in.
this is stage one. Okay, stage one, usually with some tomato sauce back in Australia, but because this has flavored beef in there, we really don't want to ruin this with some tomato. Now, sauce is different to ketchup too. Don't fall into the don't ever call tomato ketchup. It's sauce in Australia, mate.
I don't use ketchup. To me, if you put ketchup on your food, that means your food is terrible.
Well, there you go. All right, mate. Bottoms up, man. Try this one out.
That's really good. That's really good. My dog, my dog he is at attention. That's good, huh, buddy? Hold on. Come up here. Come up here. Come up here.
Hey,
No.
bud.
Oh no, he's ready for.
Your dog's head's bigger than your head, mate.
Oh, he's got a massive head. He's ready for it. This is really good. Uh-huh. Wow. I can see why these are popular. And I can just buy these at like a bakery in Australia?
You can get them at gas stations.
No.
This is a cool.
This good?
Not this good. No, this good. This is a guy from Collingwood, lives in LA. Guy from Melbourne makes them this good, but you'll get them this good in Australia if you go to a bakery.
I'm gonna be in Melbourne, I think February 1st or 2nd.
Yeah, it's a good town. The best thing about this is when you're at the footy, watching a game of footy, pie in one hand, beer in the other. You don't need to use two hands. You can do what you want. That's the whole idea of the Aussie pie.
You don't get any of this, dude. This is so good. Am I gonna like the Vegemite as much?
I think so.
All right. Wow.
Now, the deal with Vegemite, have you got the butter on your toast yet?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. This is how strong I go. Okay, think half the strength of peanut butter. Give that thing a good whiff. It's got a little bit of a little bit of aroma to it.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
no, no, you've got way too much already. You've
Oh.
gone way too strong.
All right.
Josh, I like you too much to make you do that. I've done that to some people on this show, but I'm not going to do that to you today.
I like peanut butter. So when you said peanut butter,
No, no, half strength. You're going to try and flick it on your toast, okay? Well, that's a lot, okay? You don't need to go as much as that. You need to be able to see some toast.
okay, like
What you
this.
got? Let's give us a look at what you got going on, mate. Ooh, yeah, that's a good start. That's a good start.
Okay.
So, Josh, you've never had Vegemite before, have you?
No,
What have you heard?
just the Men at Work song.
Just the Men at Work song? Well, now, now this is in 80% of Australian households. 80% of Australian households have this. It's basically because it's cheap and you can a jar of this stuff will last forever. So never goes off, never it'll go through a nuclear war.
Okay. So,
But this is
what do people usually put it on? Just toast?
toast. Well, like I said, it braises beef all right. The pie worked out all right.
Do they
That was
cook?
pretty damn
Do they
good.
cook with it?
It's an acquired taste when you cook with it. It's not you don't go to a Vegemite restaurant. Put it that way.
Okay. So should we just dig in here?
Bottoms up, mate. This is where Aussies find out. Are you our Vegemate, Josh Wolf?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. What do people not like about it?
The salt.
That's what I like about it. But you're right. If I had put that amount on there, that wouldn't have been good.
There's levels, and once you go too far, it really fucks around the experience.
Yeah. I have to tell you, I am so, I knew I was going to like this because I could smell it when it was cooking.
I think did JJ hook you up with a few? Yeah. Now some of them will taste a little different because I don't think all of them have Vegemite in them. I don't know what he sent you.
This is so good. So if people come to my shows in Australia and they want to bring me some pies, I'm open to that.
That sounds like a great idea. I don't think you could go wrong.
Right? Because will they taste different in different parts of the country?
Yes, and New Zealand, it will
Yeah.
definitely taste different because there's a big rivalry between Australia and New Zealand pies. Kiwis like to think that their pies are better than ours.
So tell me as I go across the country, because I'll be in Perth, Adelaide, Sydney, Brisbane, and Melbourne. So tell
Right.
me, what are the differences? Are they all different with the way they make their
They're all
pies?
they're all a little bit different. They're all a little bit different, but not by much. I think they just gave the greatest pie in Australia award every year. The best pie in Australia was won by somebody who cooked a butter chicken pie. They put Indian curry in it, and butter chicken inside this.
I imagine that really what separates it is the breading and how they cook the bread and how they make the bread, right?
Right.
Because is it like because like in the States, barbecue is different depending on where you are in the States. It all
Exactly.
depends on the sauce, right? So is
Right.
that kind of like this? It changes as
It's all
you.
about the pastry. Yeah, some pies are a little bit more solid than others. Some are a little bit more sloppy. I mean, the worst thing at the football is when you get a pie that drips on your fingers. It's just come out of the oven, and the only way to get rid of it is to put it in your mouth. Then you give third-degree burns from the mouth as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, it's your
I
fingers
will
or your
say,
mouth.
here's what I like about this one. Much like my pizza, I like a thin crust. I don't like a thick, doughy crust. And much like my tacos, I don't like my tacos when they spill out all over the place. So thin crust and everything stayed inside. Like I have a feeling I don't want to be disappointed when I go. Like, does he sell these in Australia?
Uh, JJ does. I don't believe JJ does because his bakery's here in LA.
Huh?
Okay, so when next time you're in LA, he'll hook you up in LA. He can ship them to Vegas as well, obviously. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, man. I mean, this guy. You should see what he does with desserts. Oh, it's a whole different thing. Then it gets out of control, man. But the pies are amazing.
Was I supposed to save some of this?
No, did he send you these sausage rolls?
Four things that looked like this is what he sent me.
Sausage rolls a whole different thing as well.
That was delicious.
Oh
Holy,
yeah, man. I knew you'd be into it.
yeah. I'm not sure I'll finish the Vegemite toast, but you know,
So that's yeah, the Vegemite toast. That's all right. You've done your due diligence on that.
no, no. And I'm not sure that I'll use it again, but
Well, you never know.
it seems like it'll last for a long time.
If you get walled in on another pandemic, you'll have something in the back of the cupboard if you get stuck.
Yeah, or if I need, like, if I have a leak in my faucet and I need to stop something up.
Like the old Willie Mays Flex Seal.
Yeah, this feels thick enough to really stop a leak. Yeah.
Oh, definitely, man, definitely. So, what are you most excited about Australia?
Man, so this is my third time, and I I was blown away by the amount of tickets I sold last time. I had no idea that my son and I had gained such an amazing amount of popularity over there. But what I found is, man, Australians like storytellers, and I tell stories. And
Yeah,
so, and you know, my stories are super relatable and silly
right.
and fun, but not like boring and vanilla. They're a little bit, they toe the line a little bit. And so it's like the perfect combination. So I love going back for the Australian crowds, and Jacob and I love Melbourne so much. It feels like New York City.
Yeah, it's a good town.
Yeah, so much. But I think Brisbane is where we really sold the most tickets. We sold out Fortitude Hall there.
Yeah, I
And
was across town doing the sit down comedy club at the same time, and I was like,
were
wow.
you?
Yeah, I'd gone down and did stand up in Australia for the first time. Because I've done all my stand up in America and I've never
Yeah.
done stand up in Australia before. So you were doing Fortitude Valley because you upgraded your venue, and yeah, I was like, oh, wow, cool.
Well, that's the thing. We all of our venues started pretty small, and we just sold, and kept going to bigger venue, bigger venue, bigger venue. So
Yeah,
this tour is, and man, to be able to tour with my son and go to Australia with him is like the best, the absolute best. So we're gonna do a few touristy things for sure. But can you recommend something? We're gonna be in Sydney for 4 days.
oh, Sydney, mate. 4 days. You can't go past the zoo in Sydney. The Taronga Zoo is probably that's the hallmark of Sydney. You want to check that out
Okay.
because you want to get up close with some of that wildlife. We have some stuff. I talk about them on stage. I call them bonus animals. The stuff we don't put in the brochure because it terrifies the shit out of Americans. You would never come down there if you knew about it.
Yeah.
They've got all that at the zoo, and you'll be like, oh, holy shit.
Every time I look up poisonous snakes or spiders, it always says only found in Australia. No matter
Yeah,
where,
we have
everything.
18 of the top 25.
Yeah, that's not a list you want to be on.
No, man. Basically, I tell people, I said, if you go to Australia in the summer, just stay away from grass longer than 4 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was also told stay in the city.
Yes.
I was like, I want to drive out in the bush, and I've always been told there's no reason for you to go out there.
I grew up out there.
Huh?
I grew up out there. It's just, you've really got to pay attention to where you put your feet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But they also see, one of the things that people told me not to go out there for is one of the reasons I want to go out there. because everyone says the people are a little different when you leave the city in Australia and you hit the bush.
They're amazing.
That's
Bush
why I want to go
people,
out there. I want to go out there.
bush people are amazing. I tell you, if you had the chance to drive from Brisbane to Sydney rather than fly and drive the New England Highway, the inland, it's not the outback, it's the inback. It's still got trees and grass and stuff. It's not like we're not in the desert, but just stopping in those country towns, you get some of Australia on you.
How far is that? How long is that drive?
About from Brisbane to Sydney, about a 10-hour drive, 11-hour drive. You break it up over a day.
Yeah. I think maybe what I would do is stop midway. Is there a place to
Yeah,
stop?
you stop at you stop in a place like a place called Tamworth, spend the night in Tamworth, but I would find a smaller town because you can stay at pubs in Australia. You can stay upstairs at the pub. So you eat downstairs in the bar, and then they have small accommodation upstairs. It's amazing, man. It's not the Ritz Carlton. I mean, you're paying for a single bed on top of a bar,
Does
but
it
that
look like
accommodation exists.
you've met me? Do I seem like the kind of dude who needs this?
No, man, but that's the ultimate, man. Is just to stay at pubs in Australia.
That's an amazing thing. I didn't know they did that. That way you can just get shit faced and just walk upstairs.
Walk straight upstairs, mate.
Yeah. Listen, man, I gotta tell you, I told my wife because I was cooking that pie upstairs. She goes, "It smells great." I go, "Yeah, you can have one of the ones in the freezer, but I think I'm gonna take that back." I don't think she's getting any of them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to order a couple from your buddy.
I'll let JJ know you were stoked. He just got done catering for the Australian consulate Christmas party in DC. So yeah, he'll be pumped that you liked Aussie pies and sausages.
I want to tell you another thing that I'm looking forward to do in Australia. You know, I play a little guitar in my set,
Right.
and I think I'm gonna write a song that's called "I'm Just Happy I Can Say Cunt." I think I think that'll go over really well.
You're going to be down there long enough to get an education on how to use the word.
Well, that's the thing is I think I've been using it wrong.
Here's the thing. I'll give you the quick cliff notes on it right now.
Okay.
You can be a funny one, a dirty one, a big one, a tall one, a fat one, a skinny one, a bald one, a dumb one. Okay. Just don't be a fucking cunt. Because if you're this fucking cunt over here, you're an asshole. Okay. That's the worst one to be.
By the way, if with your permission, I'm going to use that in the song.
You can definitely use that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that makes so much sense to me. Nobody's ever broken it down like that, but that actually makes sense because all of those other adjectives are just kind of fun.
They're a term of endearment generally,
Right.
except for this fucking cunt over here.
Silly cunt is just like. Whoa.
Gee whiz. Is it all right?
Yeah. That was this guitar that I just bought is I didn't think I would like it, and I was right. But it's kind of like
Oh, okay.
so it's hard to stand up. But I thought I would try it out. I like to go into I give my guitar away at every show.
I didn't know that.
So in Australia, I'll give my guitar away at the end of every show. And but sometimes I'll go into a place and buy a guitar, and then I'll see a guitar I've never seen before, and I'll grab it just for fun. And this one's called an Ovation, and I'd never seen one that had plastic backing. And I was like, I wonder if I'm gonna like this. And you know what?
Sounds great.
Terrible.
Well, Josh,
Sorry to the people at Ovation Guitars.
how can people get tickets for the tour, mate?
Oh, comedian. You hear that?
He sounds like a smoke alarm.
Comedianjoshwolf.com for tour dates. And let me just tell you real quick what they are, if you don't mind.
Not a problem, mate. Let people know.
Okay, so I will be in Perth on January 29th. I'll be in Adelaide on January 31st, Melbourne on the February 1st, Sydney February 2nd, and Brisbane February 6th. And then I'm over in New Zealand for 5 shows also.
Awesome,
Auckland,
mate.
Rotorua, Hamilton, Wellington, and Christchurch.
Well, mate, you're definitely our Vegemate. You've proved that today. You can handle Vegemite. You're a big fan of the Mighty Pull. Remember that, folks? The Mighty Pull you can get from Aussie Pies and Sausages here in America, www.aussiepiesandsausages.com. And yeah, folks, Josh, I can't wish you enough success on this Aussie tour, man. I'm sure you're going to crush it, mate.
My friend, thank you so much for having me on. Thank you for introducing me to the Vegemite and the Mighty Pie. So good.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.